CBS's MAGA experiment has gone disastrously for the network in terms of ratings and revenue, but as I've always said, that's never been the goal. But the sole focus was to consolidate control over the media, and they've basically succeeded with CBS. So now we're on to the next one, which is CNN. And they haven't yet got that control. We don't know when the mass firings will begin, but the talent there already clearly knows what's coming down the pike because they're starting to leave. And so we have the first big departure. CNN's chief legal affairs correspondent Paula Reid has decided to leave the network rather than remain through David Ellison's looming takeover of parent company Warner Brothers Discovery. Reid informed management last week that she would not renew her contract when it expires later this summer, despite receiving what status describes as a generous renewal offer. According to the newsletter, she privately raised concerns with CNN executives about Paramount Skydance's pending acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery and the uncertainty surrounding the future of the network under Ellison's ownership. 43-year-old correspondent reportedly concluded that the uncertainty surrounding the merger was too great and decided against remaining at CNN. She's the first major full-time host on CNN to leave, although technology journalist Kara Swisher has also said that she will stop working with CNN once the merger closes, and other journalists are privately weighing whether to remain at the network. Whether to remain at the network and then be fired, or I guess leave beforehand. There's a lot of talking about uncertainty being the reason, but so far it does seem pretty certain that it's gonna happen. I don't think that uncertainty is the issue. I think the fact that it's happening is the issue. I can't speak for Paula Reid, but that's the way that it feels at this point. And so, yeah, she's gonna be out. I can't imagine Caitlin Collins maintains a job once the Ellisons are in control, considering how much Donald Trump absolutely despises her and her no smiling ways. But it remains to be seen. This is what I've been concerned about. We've been covering the CBS stuff. CNN is clearly next. We'll have to see. But Brett, what do you think?
What I don't think people understand when they talk to Trump is it's not just that he dislikes people who challenge him. He doesn't necessarily consider that a career ender, and he likes the right foil. He needs some people at CNN to call fake news.
Yeah. You think, right? Is she it?
He needs that out, and it might be that, and he might just be like, oh my God, her eyes are dynamic. She used to work for one of the dailies, a Caller or Wire, I don't remember, but like she's not of my coast, like she's from that world, but like. Generally speaking, there's a lot of ways you can read into it. It's a very difficult time to be in cable news because you're getting bought up. But not only that, like their news across the board, they just slash budgets. Like if you look at local news, people look like an octopus playing the organ, doing it themselves, doing the whole thing. Many like cities and markets, they're called, have like 3 people, 1 person. Mm-hmm. You have to go set up your shot yourself. You'd have to do that for a long time. So like there's a lot of paring back. And so a lot of the maneuvering, if you see yourself as one of the heads that's gonna roll in an upcoming thing, is to get ahead of it and have a frank conversation with the people who are on your side within the company, who know what the people in the decision-making process are, and just be like, give me a heads up so I can position myself for future things. Now, what you would do sometimes in these scenarios is say, I am out, I am done, this thing is corrupt. But you need a quote, non-corrupted branch to grab onto or vine to swing onto to get away from that. Mm-hmm. There are fewer and fewer of those out there. So you can't really take a stand. Then you'll say things like, there's uncertainty, I don't think I'm gonna continue with this. Because other people like Scott Pelley are like along the way being like, F this nonsense, it's a mistake. They're being bad, and I will scream it from the rooftops. The problem is the only thing you can do in that scenario to have full, you can pull a Tucker Carlson. You have to be able to create your own outlet independently. Don Lemon's doing it. A lot of them have to find out, and the way that they have to adapt is fascinating. But that's kind of what's next, because. And all of this, while the only interesting thing to me about this is like, while people don't view CNN as legitimate in the independent media sphere, if you're an independent media personality and you go on CNN and do well, that's a huge thing. It still has some sway. So all these things where people are like CNN is over party, CBS is over party, I can't really buy into that 100% because it's still got a shiny floor studio and there's something about it.
Yeah, no, undoubtedly. And that's part of why, like, I don't know, like part of TYT for its history, and TDR as well, has been media criticism. It's not just mockery or whatever, particularly for like MSNBC. It's just hoping that they'll do better, because we know that they do still have people that watch them. They might be like an older audience or whatever, but there's still a lot of people. You know, there's no news that reaches that many people, but that's one of the bigger ones still, and we want them to do better. And now it looks like CNN at least is going to be pulled in the exact opposite direction, if CBS is any indication, and I don't see why it wouldn't be.